If your strategy is anchored on hate for other people, for leaders, how are you going to provide a solution for our nation?
We want to make a call in Kenya, especially to Comrade the President William Ruto. Stop doing what you are doing. I will not allow you to use the people of Kenya, and we will never support imperialism. I will never get tired. No one can make me tired. I march forward to the victory of our people. Freedom in our lifetime. Amanda!
On Monday, businesses will not open in Nairobi. Responsible businessmen will not come to town. In cities and towns across the Republic will be no activity. Billions will be lost. Some people will be hurt. The country, as I said, is on tenterhooks. The question that I ask, if a mistake is made by one of the demonstrators or one of the security forces, then there is copycat revenge spread across the country. If they don't pull back on Tuesday, what will Kenya look like? President Ruto, in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, you are the President of the Republic of Kenya. This is the time when history calls upon leaders to rise above the parapet of partisan politics and to seize the opportunity to stabilize the ship of state. Don't think it underneath you to approach your adversaries. Do so for the sake of the Republic of Kenya, and history will remember you fondly. To those who are advisors of President Ruto, advise him to be a statesman. God bless you.
And still, both groups, the two groups, he understands what they want. They will thinking that you've understood what they want. And it is true, you've not understood what they want. And once they vote you in, and you don't do what they want, they will come for you.
I want to warn African presidents to stop thinking of themselves as bigger than the people. I want to warn the African presidents. They must look at history as to what has happened to some of the African dictators in the past, who think that by becoming a leader, you are actually the most powerful. You can never be more powerful than the people.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
as you are growing now, in this century that we are growing in, if you don't take my advice seriously, we are going to find your head hanging somewhere else. Because the youth we are now leading are not interested in the politicking and always, sorry for the language, why. We are now dealing with proper justice systems. We would want to see that our dignity is restored and we are respected as individuals and as human beings. We cannot be in a continent which has the greatest amount of resources and yet we are the poorest. I mean, I was in Nigeria the other day and I watched this pipe with a sticker on it, British Petroleum.
British in Nigeria.
Driving through the Delta with villages on the left and on the right of abject poverty.
Yeah.
And this pipe, it's not a pipe, it's a pipe, this huge pipe, it's pulling oil,
It's oil.
out of Nigeria, even written British Petroleum, going to fuel the streets of London, and where the resources are being found, those people are living in poverty.
There's indigenousness in there. Now, Bishop, here's the thing which is very interesting. Now, I want to take it as you were looking at rebooting the system, the software rather, of Africans. Now, in the midst of such issues, political unrest, we've got these issues whereby we're struggling in many ways. What should be our thinking? How should we channel our mindsets?
The first bus stop which we need to talk about, I know it sounds like a long road, but I'm not here to be planting vegetables. because I want us to harvest fruits. He who plants vegetables will never eat a fruit salad. The first bus stop, which I want to make a challenge to all African governments, you need to destroy the Western curriculum of education.
Years to come later, I would like to join an army force because an army force they have a lot of good behaviors and they are well disciplined than these police forces. Even they have a lot of patriotic love. An example of a president who was in an army force, Capt.Ibrahim of Burkina Faso. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, even you can check at his behaviors. They are good. Yes. And he has a lot of patriotic love.
When I see kind of videos, I remember the time the colonizers were here in Africa, and the time they were fighting with the Africans, when Africans wanted them to leave Africa. They left Africa, but warning Africans that you cannot lead yourself, you cannot govern yourself. And they wanted they promised to give Africans the freedom that they were craving for. And they said clearly that they are sure that Africans will look for them. What's really happening in Africa is that the leaders of Africa, the one who are making Africa to be seen like Africa can no longer govern itself. Africa is not able to govern itself because of the kind and the situation they are putting African countries in. So just take a look at the country of Kenya. The country of Kenya who has been spreading in the internet for everything that is really happening in Africa. Youths are dying on the streets, just going to demonstrate, just going to demand the rights of the country, the rights of themselves. But instead, they are going and dying on the streets. What's really happening? What is really happening? Because all that is happening in Africa today, this is putting Africa on a place that we are really being seen like it's okay, and it's like just like our former colonizer says that we cannot govern ourselves. Yet, what's really happening in Africa is that something that it can be corrected in a day, and everything can become a normal, because there is nothing big deal that is really happening here. All that is happening here is just the greatness of the leaders. And after all that is happening, after all the clashes, the crisis, and all that is happening, the massive deaths, the police brutality, the leaders, the politicians themselves, what they are really coming out to explain to the media or the citizens that are ask questions on how the citizens want the president who was elected democratically to go just like that. The best thing they're saying is that the leaders have to respect democracy. The president, because the president was elected democratically to the office. So we as the citizens, if we want to make these things to work, we have to follow democratic way. At this time, you have, even if you don't have ears to listen, then you have eyes to see. You have the eyes to see. What is really happening here is that the citizens themselves, these people are now oppressed. The citizens are oppressed. The citizens are very tired for the government that they are believing in, because everything that the government promised to do has failed. Everything that the government is trying to do is just intimidating and doing everything opposite from the people, from the expectation of the people. So we are here and now at this time, when it comes to the point like this, now the president has to do something. It is not only going away is not the solution. Resigning is not a solution. But I believe that the president himself, the president of Kenya himself, he knows where the problem is, and he knows where he can fix the problem. I am a Kenyan, yes. And what if today you can tell me, what do you think about the government of Kenya? And what I can say according to what's really happening in Africa or in Kenya? What I can say is that we have a lot to do. So we saying that Ruto must go, and maybe saying that all we need is to impeach president from the power. That cannot be enough solution, because at the end of the day, let me ask maybe if the people who believe in whatever is happening, If tomorrow we say that, of course, we have managed and we have won the victory, and then Dr. President is William Ruto is going to resign, who other person we can put on that seat and he can perform? There is no one who can do what is right at this time. What we have to do at this time is to fight to make that the message that they are being that is being held in Kenyan government is managed. All we have to do is to start by the roots. All we have to do is to start and fight for all the mistakes that are being done in our governments. All that we have to do is to make sure that we erase everything that is not for us. Let me give you an example. Before the colonizers came and before these issues of kingdoms and of presidents and everything that is happening in Africa, we had the kingdoms. Before the colonizers came in Africa, Africa was well organized. We had kingdoms. We had queens and kings. These kings and queens were very loyal to the people. These people, during their time, we never experienced anything like people going on the streets, people demonstrating, people complaining about the governance, because the kings and the queens, the kingdom was well organized to deal with their people, and the people had enough faith to their kings or to their kingdoms, and everything that was going to the citizens, the king or the queen was able to handle all the issues that was undermining their people that they were representing. And that's when you see, even after the king died, his son was the one to inherit. Was the one to inherit the power from his father. And even after this, the son died, his son was ready to inherit the daughter, and the people were okay with it. So they are being elected. But after they go and they are assigned to the power, they forget everything about the citizens. They forget everything that the people that they are representing can be passing through. They forget everything that the citizens need to be delivered. Those time the king was delivering to the people. Those time the people were well respected their kingdoms, and that way make Africa was moving and Africa was good. But at this time, since the colonizers came and they introduced Africa with the power of presidency, the people are fighting just to own this power, to own this seat. Now things have changed completely. So what we are experiencing in Africa is not just a leadership, but it's just a massacre. People are dying in the name of leadership. People are going missing the men of leadership. Government are not well organized. Governments and every resources of the countries are being just misused. Money and all the taxes that the citizens are contributing are just going in a group of people, in a group of individuals. That's what the problem is consuming Africa. This time, every country of Africa is speaking about the good leadership and the good governance of Burkina Faso with the Ibrahim Traore. But I've seen many people saying that they could want to find a leader like Ibrahim Traore. That cannot be a solution. Before Ibrahim Traore came to power and clear everything that is going, that was happening in his country, and to manage and to make his country to be a topic of the world, he has to take a deeper. By him taking high chances, high risks, to send away those foreign powers from his country, that was a primary issue that he was supposed to handle with it, and that enabled him to do something that make his country, at least at this time, the country that is being a topic of every day when we speak about the good leadership in the world. So when we say that we want a Juta way, the way of Burkina Faso, we may pray for that, but how sure are we that whoever will come to the power will work as per interest of the citizens? That's the problem, because everyone that comes to the power, he has his own interest. You never know. We may pray for that, maybe for the army to take over the government, but we don't know the impacts that will accompany with his leadership. So that's the problem that we are having at this time. What we are doing. You are seeing in a country like Kenya, the citizens and the youths are dying on the streets each and every day, going to demonstrate. They are not just going there because they don't like to live, because they are tired of life. but because they are so oppressed. And what we are doing is just a way of for liberation, because what I believe that liberation is a journey, and for you to accomplish journey, then you have to go through a hard way. So the people who are dying at this time, the people who are fighting for this time, it's not that they like what they're doing, but because they have no other ways. So this is just one of the ways that we are using, and we are hoping and believing that all that they are doing is not in vain, but it is a time that the citizens, and that's why we say always that the power belongs to the people. If you want to believe that the power belongs to the people, check out what is really happening in Kenya. As per today is a Sabasaba day. That is as a day of celebration of Kenya, of our country in Kenya, because this is a day when the Kenya managed, they went on the street to demonstrate for free election. So this was a day of celebrating the heroes who managed to make a multi-party system in Kenya and to enable a free election in Kenya. But instead of people going to demonstration to demonstrate or to celebrate, they are going like a war. They are doing these things in a demonstration way, in a way that there are some people who are dying. There are some people who are getting more injuries there. So this is just a way of demonstration. So when we see these youths going on the streets, then what we have to do is to support them, because it has come to the point where we cannot allow to see all that is happening in Africa. When we say today that we overthrew Dr. William Ruto on the seat, and I'm sure that there is no one who will come and operate as per interest of the citizen, because all these people that are there, and we are seeing that like they are the option, they have been in all the system of governments that in Kenya, all the leaders that are sitting on frontline, whom they are being seen like maybe they can be options. These people are the same. Every government that has been there, they have been there too. So they cannot bring anything new. And when we take out the youth that we are having today, we don't have any youth that we can believe in, and we can believe that this can come and bring a change. All we have to do is to start by erasing everything that we believe that is for foreign. Because every leader that is in a government today, he or she, when he comes to the power, he will behave just like the one that we are having today. So for us to start and to manage what we are having, what we are fighting today, we have to erase and start by the root. We have to cut all the roots. We have to cut all the system. We have to change all the system of the governance. That's when we'll start to speak about the best leadership in Kenya. That's when we'll start to speak about the best leadership in Africa. So we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. We as Africans, we are believing in ourselves at this time. The youth have come to a point where they say enough is enough, and they're tired of all that is happening. And I am believing and praying that all this fight may not go in vain, but may it bear fruits. Because all we need today, we don't have time to speak about democracy, because at the end of the day, this democracy will not bring anything on the table for us to eat. This democracy will not solve the problems that is happening in African countries. This democracy is there only to help the politicians and to make sure that the common citizens are going through the hard times always. And that's why we are here today. We are saying that we are not talking about democracy, but we are speaking about the best leadership. And that is what we are fighting for, and that is what the youths are demanding each and every day on the streets. It's not that they like what they are doing, but because they don't have any other option. This is the only way we have to do, and we believe in this, we are going to achieve it. So all the people who are watching, we pray for your support, because it is a time for Africa to fight for itself. It's a time for the African countries to stand by itself. All that is happening in Africa is a way that they are making African countries to be seen like it's the same history as what is being explained to our oppressors, because they like to see what's really happening in Africa. Because as always, they expose Africa as a country or a continent of crisis, a country of no peace. So when we continue doing this, we are making and proving to the world that whatever has been said about Africa, that is how it is. So we have to correct this, and we are going to end this. This is our time. This is our time. So whatever we are watching from African diaspora, or where what is really happening in Africa, this is our time, and we are standing to fight until our last drop. This is Kenyan. So just tell me to have the comment section. If this is your first time, just kindly subscribe to the channel, so as we speak, we move together, because we need a best Africa. And that's why the youths have decided to say that enough is enough, and it's either they die, all of them, but they die fighting for tomorrow, for better tomorrow, and for better generation. Kindly, we are here. Stay tuned as we do another, and we speak about African unity, because we need the best for Africa. Peace out, and just speak out what you have in the comment section. I am here to respond to all comments that you be popping in my comment section. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned.